I'm trying to keep these episodes short and sharp and at roughly 20 to 25 minutes, and I've already spoken for about 17 minutes now, so unfortunately I don't seem to be able to keep my answers too short, so I will continue the Q&A episode in the next episode of the Live Train Perform podcast. But what I will do is finish off with a little bit of a fun question, as I did in the last episode. This question comes in from Matt Solis on Facebook. Where did you learn to run, and was it in a little street in East Timor? So there's a really funny story behind this question, which I'm going to tell to round out the episode. So Matty Solis and I were in the same platoon together in East Timor, where we're doing a peacekeeping mission, and we're both in the recon sniper platoon. And we were tasked with going down to a village down the south of Timor called Suai, which had been overrun and basically burnt to the ground by the Indonesians about 10 years earlier. And we were attached to an intelligence officer that was tasked to go down there and gather intelligence and talk to the local people and, you know, gain their hearts and minds and all that type of stuff. So we were attached to this guy, and we were basically his close protection personnel. So we went down to Suai, and there was a Kiwi platoon down there that were housed up. They had a platoon house in basically a house that they took over from, you know, the local population, and they were housed up there, and we ended up staying with them. So that was our base, and we were working out of that location. And it was just Matty and I and this intelligence sergeant, and you know, it was about a 10-hour drive down in a Land Rover. It was a pain in the ass. It was a bumpy as fuck ride. It was really uncomfortable. Anyway, we got down to this place, Suai. We bunkered down with this Kiwi platoon, and we ended up playing cards with these guys. And I'm not sure if anyone's played euchre. I can't even remember what the rules are, but the Kiwi lads like, have you guys played euchre before? And we're like, no, teach us how to play. And they basically gave us the rules, and then they were like, if you lose 11-0, it's like pool, you have to do a nudie run. And we're like, oh, whatever, that's not going to happen. So anyway, it happened, and Matty and I got nude, ran down the street. This was like 10 o'clock at night. Nobody saw anything. Nothing happened. You know, there was no evidence. There was nothing. So basically that happened. We didn't think anything of it. The next night, we heard this commotion outside, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? And we heard the Kiwi platoon commander was like, what is going on here? Blah, blah, blah. And the boys were like, we heard these voices, these Kiwi voices say, oh, the Aussie boys did it last night. And we heard these footsteps coming towards us. And Matty and I looked at each other and we're like, oh, fuck. What are we going to do here? We're going to tell him the truth? And we're like, yeah, we'll tell him the truth. So anyway, he wanders in. He goes, hey, did you boys do a nudie run last night? And we're like, yeah, we did, sir. So he's straight on the blower. He's straight up to our chain of command and basically dobbed us in, even though nobody saw us or did anything or anything like that. But anyway, we went outside to see what was going on, see what this commotion was. And there was this dude across the road, this Timorese dude, that was like fucking hanging off the rafters and doing these like Bruce Lee cross kicks and shit like that. And he was going nuts. And we're like, whoa, what happened here? The padre was there trying to deal with that situation as well. But basically what had happened was the Kiwi lads were playing euchre, and one of them or two of them lost and basically ran across the road nude, knocked on this dude's door and bailed back across the road to this platoon house. And the guy's wife came out and saw these guys running naked across the road and just fucking told her husband, and he went nuts, like understandably. Definitely do not blame him. But yeah, basically we ended up getting back to our base. I think we were down there for about a week, and we had that 10-hour ride to get back to our base in Dili. And the whole time we're sitting, getting thrown around in this Land Rover, we're going, oh, we're fucked. So anyway, we got back to Dili, and if anyone knows Barry Tully, he comes wandering over to us, and he's like, ho, 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 what the fuck did you boys do? And anyway, he's like, yeah, your story, right? The RSM and the CEO wants to see you guys. So we went and spoke to the RSM, the CEO, and they were trying to figure out how to charge us. And they were asking us questions if we were drinking, if we were doing drugs or anything like that. And Matty and I were just like, nope. You know, we were just bored. We were playing cards. We lost. We played by the rules. Nobody saw us. Nobody did anything. Like, we didn't cause any harm to anyone. So anyway, we got sent away and then brought back about an hour later. and they ended up charging us with not adhering to a general lawful command. So we basically got charged for not wearing long sleeves between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. And that was to deal with the mosquitoes that were out at night. So good times. We had a little bit of a laugh about that. I think we got off pretty lightly considering, we lost a couple of days' pay. We got restriction of privileges. We got put on guard for a few days as well. But other than that, there was not really too much to come out of that. And that was the first time I got charged as a soldier. The second time I got charged as a soldier, another story completely, which I'm not going to get into in this episode, but stay tuned. That might be something that I bring up in a future episode. That is it from me today for today's episode, guys. Please bear with me on the structure of these episodes because I'm new to this and I'm still figuring out, the right time length for each episode. I'm still trying to figure out how much detail I need to go in with answers and things like that. Final point here is that each one of these episodes each one of these questions that I'm answering in these rapid fire Q&A sessions are actually up on my YouTube channel, and I've broken the questions down. I've broken the videos down into their individual questions. So you can go onto my YouTube channel, Performance Functional Training, and you can see the individual questions along with my individual answers for this episode and the previous episode, and that will continue moving forward. Peace.